Hello everyone, this is a part 3 of my video series on the seizure disorder. Today I am going to tell you treatment of epileptic seizures. So what is a treatment for epilepsy? In this again it is divided into supportive treatment and a specific treatment. In supportive treatment we have to advise the patient to take the adequate sleep, avoidance of known precipitant for the seizures, and stress reduction should be done. These are the specific techniques for stress reduction which should be advised to the patient who is a known case of epilepsy. Now the specific treatment for epilepsy, in this there are the anti-epileptic drugs, then stimulation devices, then ketogenic diet, and the fourth part, surgery is indicated in few cases. So in drugs, there are various drugs which are useful for the epilepsy. First is the first line anti-epileptic drugs, which are the old one, and newer anti-epileptic drugs. There are various newer anti-epileptic drugs are available. Steroids are indicated in some special conditions. There is a role of IVIG, ACTH, example in West syndrome, and nowadays there is a role of cannabidiol, and precision therapy is indicated in some special condition, example if the patient is having vitamin responsive epilepsy. So now I am going to tell you the details of all these drugs. First, you should remember what is the algorithm for the epilepsy, or we can say how to step up the treatment for the epilepsy. So this is the step ladder for the epilepsy. First, you have to start the first line anti-epileptic drugs. And after starting the first line anti-epileptic drug with the minimum doses, you can increase the doses if it is required over a period of 2 weeks. Always you have to start with the minimum dose. Example, I am starting the sodium valproate. I will start from the minimum dose of the 15 to 20 milligram per kilogram per day in BD doses. And if the seizure controls are not there, slowly I will increase the dose and I can step up to the maximum dose range. And always try to set to the low therapeutic dose range of anti-epileptic drug. If you find there is no recurrence of the seizure, then you can continue with the same dose, need not to increase the dose. And if you find there is a recurrence of the seizure is there, then you have to increase the dose of first line anti-epileptic drug which you have choose according to the specific type of the epilepsy. And you can go up to the maximum therapeutic dose. Example, sodium valproate, we can go up to maximum 45 mg per kg per day. So start from 15 and go up to the 45 and slowly increase the dose if there is recurrence. And if recurrence persists, then we can start the alternate first line anti-epileptic drugs, and we have to withdraw the previous first anti-epileptic drugs. So second drug we will try and we will withdraw the previous one. If patient is not responded in this also, in alternate anti-epileptic drug, again we will start with the minimum dose and we will step up slowly for the maximum dose. If you find that patient is not responded, then check the drug compliance first. Is the really patient is taking the drug properly in a proper dose, in a proper duration? And if you find compliance is good, still the patient is not responding to the single drug, then we can start add-on therapy with the first line anti-epileptic drugs. Means we will give 2 anti-epileptic drugs to the patient. If the patient has not responded with the 2 anti-epileptic drugs, we will label as an uncontrolled seizure, or we can say drug resistant epilepsy. And in this case, you have to investigate the patient thoroughly and you have to rule out the all causes. Example, if the patient is having the inborn error of metabolism, having the some vitamin responsive epilepsy, or sometime if the patient is having syndromes, then genetic analysis, all these things means you have to investigate further And after that, you have to start the polytherapy with the newer anti-epileptic drugs. If you have label as a drug-resistant epilepsy, previously it is known as intractable epilepsy or refractory seizure. We label drug-resistant epilepsy when patient has not responded with at least 2 fair trial of appropriate medication. We had given the proper therapy with the 2 anti-epileptic drugs, and after that patient has not responded. According to the type of seizure, according to the etiology of the seizure, we had given the treatment. Now we can add the newer anti-epileptic drug, and there is a role of ketogenic diet, and if the patient is fit for the surgical modalities and stimulation devices, then it can also be applicable for the patient who is having the drug resistant epilepsy. So this is the algorithm for the treatment of epilepsy. Now I am going to tell you the details of anti-epileptic drugs which are effective for the epilepsy. So first is first line anti-epileptic drugs. In this phenobarbital, phenytoin, sodium valproate and carbamazepine. And the dose of pheno is 3 to 5 mg per kg per day. OD doses HS should be given, and it is indicated in less than 6 months old baby. And the preparation for the phenobarbitons are Gardinal syrup 20 mg per 5 ml and tablet 30 mg is available, and phenytoin dose is 5 to 8 mg per kg per day divided in BD doses, and Epto and Dilantin syrups are available for this, and this is the concentration, and tablet 50 and 100 mg are available. And the sodium valproate is a broad spectrum first line anti-epileptic drug. It is effective in almost all types of epilepsy. Dose is 15 to 50 mg and per kg per day. BD or TDS doses preparation is 200 mg per 5 ml syrup and 200 mg tablet. Carbamazepine, which is the effective drug against the partial seizure, and it is the drug of the choice for the partial seizure also, and dose is 10 to 30 mg per kg per day and BD doses, and the syrup 100 mg per 5 ml and tablet 100 mg available. So these are the first line anti-epileptic drug, and valproate is the broad spectrum and carbamazepine is for the partial seizure. Now I'm going to tell you about the newer anti-epileptic drugs in epilepsy. There is a long list of newer anti-epileptic drugs. I'm going to tell you some important one. So in newer anti-epileptic drug, there is a drug vigabatrin, oxcarbazepine, lamotrigine, gabapentin, felbamate, clobazam or clonazepam, topiramate, levetiracetam, and all other various drugs are also available. Jonisamide, stiripentol. I'm not going into the details of all these. And vigabatrin is effective against the partial seizure, GTCS, infantile spasm. It is the drug of the choice if the patient is having tuberous sclerosis with infantile spasm. It is also asked in the MCQ, so remember vigabatrin is the drug of the choice for patient of tuberous sclerosis with infantile spasm. And if the infant is having the infantile spasm but not tuberous sclerosis, then after ACTH therapy, if the patient has not responded to the ACTH hormonal therapy, because for infantile spasm or West syndrome, ACTH is the drug of the choice. If patient has not responded, then we can try the vigabatrin, which is the second line of therapy for infantile spasm. It is also effective for Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. It is not effective for myoclonic. It is slightly effective for absence seizure also. Ox Carbazepine is effective and drug of the choice for the partial seizure. It is also effective for GTCS but not effective for other ones. Lamotrigine is effective for almost all types of epilepsy, but side effects are more with the lamotrigine. And always we have to remember, before starting the lamotrigine, you have to rule out the patient is not suffering from Dravet syndrome, because lamotrigine precipitate the myoclonic seizures in Dravet syndrome. So always be careful. It is contraindicated. So drug of the choice for epilepsy is depend on the type, depend on the etiology of the seizure. Gabapentin is effective against the partial seizure and slightly effective for GTCS but not for others. Felbamate is effective for almost all type but side effects are more with the felbamate. Clobazam and clonazepam. We use clobazam and clonazepam as a add-on therapy. After the first-line anti-epileptic drug, if the patient has not responded with the 2 trials of anti-epileptic drugs, then in add-on therapy, we prefer the clobazam and clonazepam. These are the benzodiazepams and very effective. And it is effective against the partial seizure and effective for the GTCS, not effective for infantile spasm, but effective for Lennox-Gastaut, myoclonic and absence seizure. Topiramate is again effective for most of the seizure type except myoclonic seizure. Levetiracetam is the broad spectrum anti-epileptic drugs in the newer anti-epileptics. It is effective against almost all types of epilepsies. So these are the newer anti-epileptic drugs. Now the choice of anti-epileptic drug in the epilepsy. In GTCS type of seizure, we prefer the sodium valproate as a first line anti-epileptic drug. If you find that patient is poor, not affordable, then we can give the phenytoin because it is cheap, but the side effects are high with the phenytoin. Levetiracetam is the newer anti-epileptic drug, effective against the GTCS, and the side effects are very less, even lesser than the sodium valproate. So if the patient is affordable and you find that patient is having already some hepatic diseases, then you should prefer the levetiracetam because it is not having any significant side effect. And carbamazepine can be tried if the patient has not responded to the valproate levetiracetam. And for partial and focal seizure, first line or drug of the choice is oxcarbazepine or carbamazepine, and levetiracetam is also effective. And for second line, sodium valproate, clobazam, clonazepam, topiramate, lamotrigine, zonisamide can be given for the partial or focal seizure. And for absence seizure, drug of the choice is ethosuximide. It is also asked in the MCQ. So remember, ethosuximide is the drug of the choice. And if the patient has not responded, then we can give this valproate or lamotrigine. For myoclonic seizure, for benign type, we can give sodium valproate as a first line, and if not responded, then in second line clonazepam, topiramate or lamotrigine or zonisamide. Any drug we can try in this order. If patient is having severe myoclonic epilepsy, then we should start the topiramate, clobazam or valproate or zonisamide or levetiracetam. And for atonic seizures, sodium valproate is very effective drug. Now in drugs, third is the steroid. Steroids are indicated in West syndrome and also it is indicated in drug-resistant epilepsy. Example, Lennox-Gastaut or myoclonic aesthetic epilepsy, and in other syndromes also. So in West syndrome, drug of the choice is ACTH, but if you find that patient has not responded to ACTH, then we can start the steroid. And steroid can be given as a pulse steroid. Example, methylprednisolone 30 mg per kg IV monthly can be given, and preferably we can also give the oral prednisolone if not possible to give the pulse steroid. Only benefit of the pulse steroid is lesser side effect compared to the oral one. And if not possible to give pulse steroid, then we can give the oral prednisolone 2 mg per kg per day for 1 to 2 months, then slowly taper over the next 1 to 3 months. So it is indicated in very few conditions, example West syndrome and drug-resistant epilepsy. Fourth drug is IVIG. It is indicated in West syndrome and similarly also indicated in the drug-resistant epilepsy, example Lennox-Gastaut and Landau-Kleffner syndrome. And doses of IVIG, it is not directly indicated in West syndrome. First we have to try the ACTH, after that we have to try the vigabatrin, after that we have to try the prednisolone, and then third line for the West syndrome is ketogenic diet after we had tried the ACTH, vigabatrin and prednisolone. If the patient has not responded, then we should try the ketogenic diet. If it's still you find that the patient is not responding, still the patient is having frequent infantile spasm, then we can give the IVIG and we can try the other drugs also. So role of IVIG is very late for the West syndrome, and the dose is 2 gram per kilogram divided over 2 to 4 consecutive days. It should be followed by 1 gram per kilogram once a month for next 6 months. And the fifth one is ACTH. It is the drug of the choice for the West syndrome, and it is also asked in the MCQ. Dose is 75 unit per meter square. Its concentration which is available is 80 milligram per ml, and the dose is 75 unit per meter square IM intramuscular BD for 2 weeks. It should be followed by slowly taper over the next 2 weeks. So first 2 weeks we had given the 75 unit per meter square, then slowly you have to taper to the 50 unit, then 25 unit. Slowly you have to decrease. And there is a role of cannabidiol in a more than 2 years age group. It is indicated for the drug resistant epilepsy, example Dravet syndrome, Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, and the dose is 2.5 mg per kg BD for 1 week, and you have to increase the dose after that once the patient has tolerated well 5 mg per kg BD as a maintenance therapy, and we can go maximum up to 10 mg per kg if it is required. And the seventh part of the drugs is precision therapy. It's depend on the etiology. Example, vitamin responsive epilepsy, uh, pyridoxine dependency or pyridoxine responsive seizure. We can give the vitamin B6 100 milligram IV once it is confirmed. And if the patient is not responded to vitamin B6 injection, you have to suspect the pyridoxine 5-phosphate dependency. In this, we can give the pyridoxal phosphate orally 50 mg per kg per day in QID doses. So all these are about the drugs in epilepsy. Second part in treatment for epilepsy is stimulation devices. It is indicated when the patient is having drug resistant epilepsy and having the focal or multifocal seizures and not fit for the surgery. And in this we can give the vagus nerve stimulation, responsive neurostimulation, deep brain stimulation, trigeminal nerve stimulation. In by all these stimulation device there is a reduction in seizure frequency. Not the complete cure can be achieved by these stimulation devices. And for stimulation devices, expert opinion and the intervention is required. Now the third part for the treatment of epilepsy is ketogenic diet. It is indicated whenever you find that patient is having the drug resistant epilepsy or refractory seizure. Also it is very helpful for the Rett syndrome, severe myoclonic epilepsy. It is also indicated in Dravet and West syndromes. And for Dravet and West syndrome, ketogenic diet is almost the very effective, and it is the third line treatment after the drugs. For Dravet syndrome, clobazam and valproate with ketogenic diet is preferred. So we start the two drugs, clobazam and valproate, and also simultaneously ketogenic diet should also be tried. If patient is not responded with this, then we can try the cannabidiol, which is also effective in the Dravet syndrome. If still patient is not responded, then newer anti-epileptic drugs, stiripentol, zonisamide, topiramide can be tried for the Dravet syndrome. But remember, lamotrigine is contraindicated in Dravet syndrome. And after that, in some inborn error of metabolism, example glucose transporter protein 1 or pyruvate dehydrogenase deficiency, in this condition also ketogenic diet is indicated. So what is the ketogenic diet? In this first initial period of fasting should be done, and after that we have to start the 3:1 and 4:1 ratio of fat and non-fat calorie ratio. And for fat we can give the vegetable oil or we can give the animal oil, or this is very effective if you find that patient is not able to tolerate the high fat in the ratio of 3:1 and 4:1, and then having the diarrhea, vomiting or some GI disturbance, then we can in these type of patient we can give the modified Atkins diet, which is containing the low carbohydrate and high fat diet. Low glycemic index diet can also be tried. So this is the ketogenic diet and Atkins diet for the epilepsy. Now the fourth one is epilepsy surgeries. It is indicated whenever a patient is having intractable focal seizures, not responded with the drugs, or we can say drug resistant focal seizures, in which properly defined epileptogenic zone by the stereo EEG has done. In these cases, epilepsy surgeries are indicated. Focal resection of the epileptogenic zone is the most useful surgery and most commonly done. Hemispherectomy is rarely indicated, example in Rasmussen encephalitis. And the third one is multiple subfield transection. It is indicated in the uh, Landau-Kleffner syndrome. And carpus callosotomy is indicated in Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. So these are the surgery which is specifically indicated for some special syndromes, while the focal resection is very commonly done for the intractable focal seizure whenever the focus is defined by the EEG. Now the last part is discontinuation of anti-epileptic drug. When you will discontinue the anti-epileptic drugs? When you find patient is seizure free for more than 2 years, especially it is indicated when the control achieved easily on one drug at low dose, and patient is having normal neurological examination and EEG, and patient was having the primary generalized seizure except juvenile myoclonic epilepsy, and in benign syndrome almost more than 70% patient will become the drug free. So this trial should be given in all these cases. If you find that patient is having abnormal neurological examination and EEG, patient is having the some syndromes and myoclonic seizures, in this there is a almost this trial is failed. So how will you taper the dose? Gradually you have to decrease the anti-epileptic drug doses slowly over the next 3 to 6 months. Do not suddenly stop the anti-epileptic drugs. Otherwise patient will have the relapse. If seizure occurred during or shortly after tapering the anti-epileptic drug doses, it will be known as the withdrawal seizure, and for this we have to give the rectal diazepam or intranasal midazolam. And if the patient is having the seizures after 2-3 months of stopping the anti-epileptic drug, it will be considered as a relapse seizure. And in this case, we have to restart the anti-epileptic treatment again. So this is the algorithm for the discontinuation of the anti-epileptic drug. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have any query, you can ask into the comment box.